So these
Okay.
two teams, as we mentioned, are gunning for that state championship. One of them is that repeat state championship, and that's Dutchtown. They're here to defend their title, and I believe Lakeshore didn't even play uh, last season in the fall.
Yeah, I don't believe so. I think this is their first season as a team, which is pretty interesting. I don't think they've played each other. Yeah, they obviously haven't because they're both undefeated. So somehow they managed to dodge each other all regular season, end up on opposite sides of the bracket, and that means we get a very exciting state championship between two undefeated teams.
Yeah, we're looking forward to. I mean, Dutchtown came out and won a championship, and Lakeshore is just showing up on the scene, just plowing through the season, and that's what brings us to this point as we get ready for these student athletes to load in. Uh, and they're not just a talented team. I mean, if you look at their ranks, they're all in the grand champ element too. So we should be seeing some pretty impressive Rocket League, not just good games, but I'm looking at, you know, you can see some pretty talented aerials, and some sweet tricks and all that fun stuff that makes Rocket League so exciting to watch at this high level.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's I think that's the best part about today is hopefully between these two undefeated teams, we're gonna get some good Rocket League. With our high school esports scene, sometimes there's a bit of a skill disparity, but like you said, these two teams have really held their own. And as far as I know, Lakeshore is probably at a very similar level to Dutchtown. From what we've heard from Dutchtown's head coach, she's excited. They're excited to play some competition. And it's always fun for us when we get to watch.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it looks like we're getting some people loaded in. So let's just go ahead and start moving towards that route. And once again, welcome to the Louisiana High School State Championship for high school Rocket League, coming to you live from, I mean, 4 different parts of the country. As we see our players loading in right now, we've got for the Dutchtown side, we've got Emerson, Sizzy, Early, and Eimer, and up against the Lakeshore crew of Renix, Sticky Rice Panda, and Baker. And Renix has already popped into the chat. Good luck, have fun. That's some solid sportsmanship, some spirit that we're looking for in a
We
game
like
like
seeing
this.
that. Yep.
Yes, so you are looking for that paper plate award of most sportsmanship player. Is Renix is getting it right now. Looks like we are getting ready to load in. I'm a little nervous. I'm
Yeah.
excited. This is state championship. This is the best Rocket League in the country right now,
Oh yeah.
for the
And
most part.
and with the way that it's set up, we have a potential to go to, 7 great games, and that's my goal, right? To watch full length best of 7, just two great programs duking it out. I'm really hoping we get that.
I'm gonna call the over/under on 2 overtimes. I think it's a little aggressive.
Interesting. I'll take that. I'll go.
You
Let's see.
think 2 overtimes? I don't know.
I think seven overtimes. Why not, right?
7 overtimes. That's gonna
Seven
cause Fanny a heart
overtimes.
attack.
It's gonna end Game 7 on an own goal. It's gonna be just
Ooh,
miserable.
scorching hot take
Yeah,
here.
the
Scorching hot take
drama,
here.
the drama. It's gonna be there.
Especially considering that's exactly how my defending state champions lost in the Mississippi State semifinals
Oh
last night.
no.
Full best of 7, brought it back, tried to get the reverse sweep going, made it to overtime, and just a really rough, bad luck 50-50 landed in our nets at the end of the game.
Okay,
That
so there
is.
are moments where playing at home are advantages, and an own goal like that's one of them.
You
You
don't
have
have to
to
face
sit in your
the
room and
team.
face the rest of your team.
Oof, that's rough. I didn't mean to bring back very recent bad memories. So I
Bad
apologize.
memories.
It's okay. I'll survive somehow. We gotta forge on. Good news is, just like our Dutchtown team, all my varsity team are juniors, so they get another chance of redemption next year.
Oh, that's good.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean we're looking at 3 juniors at least that I'm pretty sure of on that Dutchtown team. All juniors. I'm not sure about the Lakeshore squad here. Um, But yeah, I mean, this is only they're in their junior year, so this is their second championship, junior year. I mean, regardless of what happens this year, we know that these are still going to be some of the best players in Louisiana, which means
Yep.
probably the country.
Yep.
Yeah, and as far as I know, I believe Dutchtown, as well as a lot of the other state champions, have already been invited to that Play versus Cup that's been teased for a lot of these high school programs.
Oh,
So
very
hopefully we'll get to
nice.
see them compete against um, some of these other teams as well.
All right, well, it looks like we are
Here we go.
actually going live, so we're going to kick this one off in our high school state championship in Louisiana. And Dutchtown in the blue, go ahead and get those up for you as we move into this. Kicking it off right now, we've got a lot of action in the Dutchtown aggression right here, and it looks like Renix is up in the air for that one as Sizzy is going to push this one in on the net, and it's going to be blocked by Baker. So good run right there. Nice aggressive push from Dutchtown, and now Dutchtown is on the defense for this one. Sticky Rice Panda is putting this one into the corner. Emerson takes this one around the left side of the field, and we've got a huge collision in the center right there as Baker sends this one off to the side to try and get it clear and see if they can get a double commit from Lakeshore. It's not what you want to see in a game like this, but maybe there's something that's going to happen right here. A nice block, amazing block from Dutchtown to make sure that goal does not go in. And Dutchtown is once again on the defense. It's a minute in. Predictions?
Look,
Well,
I mean, it's
so
really
far
exciting.
So far, Dutchtown looks a little bit more disciplined in their rotations.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. The good news is that even though Dutchtown's looking a little more disciplined, Lakeshore, part of that undiscipline means that they've got a lot of aggression going. I mean, they have been pushing constantly, and I think that's the result
There's
right
a goal.
there.
That's going to do it.
Yeah, look, that's just, when you keep up that pressure, sometimes you just build an opening, and that's what happens.
Yeah, and you both, I think, mentioned rotations, and getting those good rotations is going to wear down the other team. They're not going to be able to respond. And part of that, too, is taking up that boost pad, denying that boost as we see Renix up in the air, bringing this one back down as Emerson catches that and responds with an aerial of
Nice
their own.
aerial.
A nice shot, but just off the top corner. Not going to go in as we see a Dutchtown car flying by. Emerson's going to stop this drive and a little 1-2 Dutchtown Lakeshore. And Lakeshore is on the defense here with a nice clear from Sticky Rice, but that's looking into contention, but once again cleared. So a lot of back and forth, a lot of ping pong going on in this game, and both teams are very fast. So here we go, nice shot on goal from Dutchtown from Emerson, but is not able to connect. And another shot from Renix, nope, as another block from Emerson. So Emerson seems to be taking up that goal spot really well in this game. And that's going to be one of those rotational things that you both mentioned, is trying to get back into that goal to block these shots.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting to see how they set that up too with the offense and the defense, who kind of sits back a little bit more and who tends to jump up into play.
Yeah, and as we see that 100 pad picked up, which is really great when you're on the offense to deny that boost from the defenders, so they can't block those shots. As we've got another ball in Dutchtown territory, as Sizzy's going to try and get this one out of here. Baker stalls to try to keep the pressure on. Erlienheimer 50-50 with Renix. It's in the corner. All three Dutchtown players in the corner right now, not where you want to be at all. And a nice stop from Sticky to keep that pressure going. As Baker takes a shot, pushes a nice pass into the center, and Renix picks it up to score. I think that's 2 for Renix now.
Yeah, and you just kind of feel like that's going to happen. You were talking about it, but all three of them were pushed up on that ball trying to get out of their goal, and when you can't get a solid clear off, that's what's going to happen, right? You just giving that ball back to your opponent like Dutchtown was giving to Lakeshore. Unfortunately, you just give them a chance every single time, and eventually they're going to convert.
Yeah, and it's, a lot of times in these games that game one is one of those games that is just going to decide how you play the next round. Like, these teams have never played each other. They've never seen each other in the season, so they're not entirely sure how they play, and a lot of learning happens in this first game. as we see an almost open goal attempt from Sticky Rice Panda, but I think Emerson once again able to cross through there, and now we've got a drive from Dutchtown, popping this one in the corner, trying to get across. Two Lakeshore players trying to get that defense out there, and a lot of over-the-top defense from Lakeshore, which is a really difficult style of defense, but if you can do it, it's incredibly effective, and they are doing that super well in this first game for sure.
Yeah, it's a real shame not to see Dutchtown convert on that. That's really the first good bit of pressure they've been able to build this entire game. And you really hope to see them convert on that, but it just looks like it wasn't able to happen for them.
Yeah, and as we hit the 30 second mark coming in here, Dutchtown is needing to get something.
Nice.
It's not going to happen.
Yep.
So that's going to bring us to 3 up for Lakeshore in this game 1. And I mean, we talked about how Dutchtown took, they both have swept their seasons. So this could very well be the most competition that either one of them have seen in this season.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about before the stream started, we talked about how Lakeshore went to a full best of 7 with Sandoval, so they've at least had some decent competition. But talking to Dutchtown's head coach, they have not had the same experience. As far as I know, they've only dropped 2 games in their best ofs all year, and none of those resulted in a series loss.
Wow.
So this is absolutely the most competition that they have ever faced. So it'll be really interesting to look at how they can protect their mental game, what they can do to kind of bounce back from what is honestly one of the only setbacks they've had as a team ever.
Yeah, and as we see coming in here, Renix with those 2 goals, Baker picking up 1. All 3 of them had a lot to say in that game for Lakeshore. They were very present. I think you mentioned those rotations and seeing that Dutchtown was kind of double and triple committing a couple times in there.
Yeah, and I saw a double clear happen on not Dutchtown. They kind of got out of the way of each other, and so that's just might be a little bit of nerves, not quite being as comfortable with where you're being pushed to go. Some nice in-goal saves though too.
Yeah, and it's one thing that's nice to see is we weren't lucky enough to get any information on Lakeshore really before they came up besides their in-game names. And so as you can see right there with 402 points, the most points in the game and the most goals in the game, Renix is a Season 1 Grand Champion. So that was really my main question coming into this. I knew the ranks of the Dutchtown players. My players have played them. I've seen them play before. So I know what their skill levels are at. But Lakeshore was a really big question mark for me. And so it's nice to see that Dutchtown has some serious competition here.
Yeah, that's true. And I think one of the things we knew was one of the Dutchtown players was a diamond until very recently. So they've been progressing as the season's gone, for sure. And we'll see how they respond in this second game. So as the second game kicks off in our best of 7 series, early attempt and an early attack by Dutchtown by Early and Eimer with Emerson as well, trying to get this. So maybe they've had some time in the break to reset and think about things and try and keep that pressure going. I see that Baker is just camping in the goal right there, trying to keep a presence as Sizzy pounds another one above with a nice boom, a demo on Renix, and that's going to give him a little bit of breathing room and a little bit of space now in this 2v3 with Early and Heimer going to drop this one down. Baker's going to drop this one to the left side. No one's there to pick it up as Renix tries to get this clear. Now we're almost at the minute mark, and it's still a fast-paced game. Do you guys seeing anything different in this one, or does it look a lot like the first one?
No, it looks way different from Dutchtown so far. I mean, we talked about how they weren't able to get very much pressure at all throughout their entire game, and as a result, weren't able to do anything, weren't able to score. And it's good to see them come out of the gates, try and put some pressure on, try and get something set up so that they don't have to go down early like they did in the last game. So that's good to see, so we'll just have to see if they convert.
Yeah, and that team communication just even right there was better. Nice pressure. Oh, come on, somebody get up in there.
I know. I mean, they've definitely. I wish I had a timer of who's got possession control this game, or at least the side of the pitch. But that's gonna great rebound shot from Renix and that's going to get them on the board again first for this game as well. As you see, again, the triple commit in the goal, but just being where they needed to be for Renix to pick that one up. And
Beautiful aerial, great timing.
yeah,
Yeah, that one looked like a bit of a rotational breakdown for Dutchtown. Sticky Rice Panda almost got the free goal off the dribble, and luckily somebody from Dutchtown was able to come clean it up, and they finally convert.
Great demo in the goal. I mean, it looked like they were trying to do that earlier as well, and this time, Sizzy off the wall and just Touchdown takes out the goalie.
Yeah, Emerson saying, if we can't get the ball past you, fine, we'll get you out of the goal ourselves.
And I mean, that's a really important tactic in Rocket League, is to take out the other team. You get 5 seconds of a basically like a little mini penalty box play, and if that goalie is the one you take out, that is huge, and that could be the drive they need to reset this one. But it looks like Sticky Rice Panda is going to respond with their own.
And once again, another rotational area. When you see this replay, look at how far of them are pushed up. You've got 2 people going for the double commit in the goal, and Emerson pushed up on the other side of the field as well. And once that Lakeshore player makes that touch and gets it over all 3 of them, that's it. It's an easy goal.
Yeah, it's a game over right there.
Yeah, and luckily early on in this series, that's the kind of thing that you can change that mindset. You can update your communication, as Sizzy does that right there, taking advantage of a very aggressive Dutchtown play here, and owning that key. I mean, that's one of the things to talk about, is the top of the map, or the top of the key, that penalty area. If you can keep someone in that spot, you're going to get those rebounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to see Dutchtown hasn't let it bother them too much. They are coming at the gate swinging. They did not want to let another game go by without them scoring, and we have a very close tight game.
Yeah, that's completely true here, as Emerson swings around to pick up that stalled ball for a nice little drive here. And swings it right past on a great pickup, aerial, and dribble all in one. I mean, this dribble skill is phenomenal here, and the great read. Sticky almost able to get there, but look at that. Just like you were saying, unfazed. Doesn't even matter. It's always 0-0, and now they're up.
And Emerson, just with the last 2 goals for Dutchtown, really taking things in his own hands. He had that really nice demo that we talked about to open up the goal, and right there, just doing it all himself. An isolation play, he gets the dribble, gets the early touch, and gets the goal.
Yeah, and these are juniors, so if you think they're talented now, just wait, as the pressure once again being asserted by Dutchtown, just relentless here. You know, they got 3 goals. They are hungry for more. They want to close this one out. Don't want a repeat of game 1. And they're just picking up that boost and just denying it from Lakeshore. And I think it's going to pay off here as we get a great... Oh, no! Oh.
Incredible.
Oh, wow.
Right after we get done talking about how talented they are, sometimes you just get a little Rocket League moment, and that's one of those. Great setup, and just unfortunately no one there to convert, as we get a good wall shot and a triple commit to save it.
I mean, sometimes you just have to throw everything at the goal to stop a ball. I will say, though, in that last try, what was really impressive was both teams were whipping around with a ton of speed, as Renix brings it back to 3-3. We're 0-0 essentially with just over a minute left. But both teams in that last attempt were doing really impressive things to get back into a rotational spot, to get either to attack or defend. And it looks like it paid off, as the ball just stalled right in front of the goal, and Renix was able to take that for their own. Just over a minute left to go, and you know, Dutchtown knows they can put points and take the lead on this. So minute left. Baker's going to take a nice shot and almost gets the rebound into the middle for Sticky, as we got 2 Dutchtown players in the corner, and that's going to leave an almost undefended goal, and Renix capitalizes on that and gets up again. Lakeshore once again has the lead. So we've had 3 lead changes technically in this game.
I think it's 3 lead changes.
Yeah, and Renix really had to calm down and kind of slow to get that goal. He knew he had it right in front of him.
Yeah, and that's going to put the pressure once again on Dutchtown to commit and get something going here as Erlenheimer's in the corner, barely misses that one. Could have been a nice cross. Sizzy's going to send back into the defensive position and reset for Dutchtown as Emerson is fighting the 2v1 in the corner with a backwards clear up in the air. Renix is going in to maybe try and cross or just keep this alive and out of Dutchtown hands. The 30-second mark is here. A little bit of a drive for Dutchtown, but back once again in Lakeshore hands, almost getting the double touch off for Sticky for the goal, but we've got 15 seconds left with a nice little dribble fake from Dutchtown, and that looked like it was going in. That looked pretty. That was a classic. That was a play right there.
They're not giving up, though.
No, not at all.
Right there.
Oh, Sticky with the last second goal.
And that one is pretty much going to put this second game away. And it looks like Lakeshore is going to have a 2-0 lead in Louisiana State High School Championships.
Yeah, and that's huge. That is big. They still have plenty of games to take it away, and kickoff goals are a thing, but this one's going to drop down, and that's going to bring us to the end of game 2.
Absolutely. Look, we honestly can't talk about this enough. We talked about how both these teams have kind of steamrolled through playoffs so far. Dutchtown has really not been challenged all season, and it looks like they're getting their first one with Lakeshore. This has been, that game especially was super close until really the last 30 seconds. And, I'm looking at Dutchtown, I'm looking at Lakeshore, and the one thing that I personally would really love to see Dutchtown pick back up here is play as a team. We have seen a lot of isolation plays. They try to get that one passing play right at the end to tie that game back up at 4-4, and it didn't quite work out. But these are players that, according to their head coach, have been playing together since middle school. I would love to see some of that synergy come out with some kind of passing play so they can come out on top of this Lakeshore team, because it does not look like Lakeshore is going to stop scoring anytime soon.
Yeah, I definitely, I agree. Lakeshore, there's no way that Lakeshore is going to say, oh, game 3, let's lay off the gas a little bit, let's take a breather. They have actually seen Dutchtown come back in a game, and that is enough to make sure you keep the gas going. And they still need a couple games to put this one away, so it's not over yet by any means. But again, Dutchtown knows they can score and they can stay up on this team, and they had a lead for a decent amount of time. But those positioning errors kind of plagued them, and they came back. But we'll see if game 3 will change things up as an early shot from Erlenheimer from the kickoff. A little double commit there from Dutchtown, so check the comms. Make sure that everything's working as Sticky Rice Panda picks this one into the center. Erlenheimer stops that drive and puts it into the middle. That's where Dutchtown likes to be with a nice off the crossbar pass, a nice demo from Sizzy, and a goal from Emerson. And that is the 1-2-3 that you're looking for. I think all 3 Dutchtown players had a hand in that one. Erlenheimer to Sizzy to Emerson.
And that's exactly what I was hoping for, right? Like I said, these kids have been playing together for a long time. I'm assuming they've done that a lot more than just once in their careers playing together. So let's hope they can do it some more. And let's see what Lakeshore can bring back after that early goal.
Well, and we saw
oh, wow. Oh, Sizzy.
Oof. Look at this from downtown and then up in the air just to make sure. Just to make sure. And then I'm going to get a little double touch on it.
Beautiful, Sizzy. Absolutely beautiful.
If you're out there and you're from a college, I have a suggestion for you.
Speaking of colleges, this is, I don't know if you guys watch the College Rocket League circuit at all, but LSU is consistently one of the best teams in that league. And Dutchtown is only about 20, 25, 30 minutes from LSU's campus. And
so that's
as far as I know, talking to Patty, I believe that's where all 3 of these players are looking at going to college.
Wow.
That's great. The players at LSU need to be worried because, I mean, you've got these kids are gunning for a back-to-back state championship, and that's going to look pretty good on a college resume. And this game, we just hit that 1-minute mark, and this is a totally different team. I mean, they are denying Lakeshore a lot of playtime in this one. I hope I don't jinx anything here as we see attempted clear, a very slow ball up in the air. Renix is able to put this one down, but Sizzy takes care of it. But most of this game for the first minute has been Dutchtown. As here we go, another drive from Dutchtown into the corner. All three Lakeshore now are overcommitting, and if Dutchtown can capitalize on that, that is a goal. That's an easy open net goal. As Emerson takes this one up the sidewall, and Renix is able to fight that one. Sizzy doing a little reverse, throwing people off here. Up in the air, nice little pass. We're going to get a zero touch from Renix, and that's going to leave it in the middle as Dutchtown tries to commit on that one and capitalize as well. So here we go with Lakeshore taking a nice little misdirection play. Sends it straight into Dutchtown as once again, Dutchtown is on the offense. I mean, totally different team. A shot on goal and not able to make it with the double commit.
And you gotta.
Oh!
I was just about to say you gotta feel good for Lakeshore. That was a really iffy clear back into the middle of the pitch, and it didn't look like it was gonna mess with them too much. And unfortunately, I just don't think they ever recovered and just weren't able to protect that last shot.
They got left awkward.
And that was so clean from Sizzy. I mean, that was when I play Rocket League. I think I only know how to go 100% gas, and these kids actually understand control. And it's really impressive to watch someone going in the air, full spectrum, full speed, turning around 180, slowing it down, and then pop it into the goal. And I mean, that's the good Rocket League that we were talking about watching here, as Dutchtown is taking a commanding presence in this game. Lakeshore sends this one back to their own area, and Renix is going to try and clear this right into the center with Emerson picking it up to keep the drive alive. And Lakeshore is going to stall that, but both Dutchtown players are there as well. The positioning is much better in this game as Erlenheimer sends this one to the side for a pass. It's a bad clear, picked up by Emerson, putting it back. No one's there but Sticky Rice Panda. And finally, I think Renix got their first demo of this series just then.
Yeah, we haven't really had too many demos except for that very memorable one in Game 2 from Dutchtown, which, if you've ever watched competitive Rocket League, that's a huge part of it. Making sure that, the goal is clear, giving your team some space to pass the ball, shoot the ball, anything you really need, that demo can give you some time. So really hoping that both these teams kind of pick that up a little bit as we go through and set up their teammates for success.
Yeah, and as we see here with just a minute and a half left, I mean, this is a fast game, but the clock seems to be taking forever here. And that's in Lakeshore's favor, but they only have a minute left. They need to get 3 or 4 goals to keep this, what they want as a shutout going. But Dutchtown has decided that that is not going to happen this time, as Lakeshore is up on the sidewall trying to get something that gets past the defenders, but we've got another Dutchtown player there, and this one's a slow bounce to the side, almost a goal. But a lot of action once again in front of Lakeshore, and it looks like a lot of commit going on. Almost a triple commit from Lakeshore. A nice redirection as Emerson takes that one to cross. It stops dead in the middle of this pitch, and 40 seconds left. Both teams are still hungry, and Dutchtown, of course, wants to get another one in there to really seal this one. But Lakeshore is going to have to figure something out here with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, and you'd really like to get a few going to give yourself a chance in these last few seconds. And even if it doesn't quite give you the chance to come back in this game, I'm sure it would feel nice to get a little bit of momentum going. Here we have Lakeshore pushing. It doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, there we go with the countdown happening in the middle of the goal, and Sticky Rice Panda does get that one goal to at least build some confidence. They know they can do it.
And what would High School Rocket League be without a really awkward attempt at defense there? Poor Emerson. Sometimes you're stuck in the goal. You're just looking at all these people flying around the pitch. And, I mean, look, it's a strange touch. They're up 3-0. Don't worry about it, Emerson. It'll be fine. That's not your bad.
No, not at all. That's what happens when it comes off the backboard and into the middle. It's almost like a penalty kick at that point. You just kind of hope you guess right.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of getting it right, Dutchtown finally picking it back up. They went down 2-0, pick up a game. Now we're at 1-2. Lakeshore still in the lead. And like you said, for a lot of that game, it really did look like Dutchtown was just a completely different team. They really kept up the pressure, which was, in my opinion, their biggest issue in their first 2 games. It felt like Lakeshore, they decided the momentum the entire time. They were the ones responsible for setting up any kind of passes, clearing out the goals, and pretty much all the aggressive plays that forced Dutchtown to get out of the rotation and force these errors, those all went to the side of Lakeshore. Dutchtown, on the other hand, they finally pick it back up. They have um, pretty much all the pressure that they need, and they flip it around, right? They're the ones forcing Lakeshore out of rotation, and it showed with a few of those easy goals.
And so far, I can't tell what team. I have no idea what this next game is going to look like because each game has looked completely different. None of them look the same. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in this match because Dutchtown looked way different in that match than Lakeshore did in the second.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it was like the teams had flipped, right? Like
Right.
Dutchtown in that game, they had so much space. You know, they controlled all of the pitch instead of just one side or one corner, which is something that we were seeing early on. Was a lot of Dutchtown players in the corner, a lot of Dutchtown players in front of the goal, and that was Lakeshore's turn to do that last game. So Dutchtown's got points on the board. They've got points in the series, and they're looking to change things here. As Sizzy gets an almost open goal shot straight from the middle there, but it's denied by two Lakeshore players. And Sticky Rice Band is going to turn this around, but no one's there to pick that up. And once again, Dutchtown is putting the pressure on and trying to stay as much as they can in the Lakeshore side. As Renix looks like an open goal, but it's denied by Sizzy. The defense, both of these teams' defensive plays are great, and I think Dutchtown has to have been practicing the far post rotation swing around clear. That really is way better than trying to defend from the center, which just gives them a rebound chance. As Sticky Rice Panda puts one up into the air with a deflection, and that looks like it's going to go in from Early and Hammer. I am interested to see this replay because I don't think that was expected.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a pool shot. It looked like, no, not quite. He just kind of beat him there. It just hits perfectly
Ran out of
in the
boost.
top corner.
I think you're probably right. Ran out of boost, ran out of momentum, and Erlianheimer was there to take control of that from the center and just slam it in. Oh, nice little. I mean, I don't know how that trick works, but that was a great shot on goal from Erlianheimer to redirect. As we got another shot from Emerson.
Yeah, and I think as Rocket League players, we've all been there. You're panicking, you're worried, you don't know who's going to save this ball, but you've got to touch it or it's an easy goal. And unfortunately for them, Dutchtown was just right there ready to pick up the rebounds.
Well, and you know, too, that you're just putting it right on center for somebody.
Yeah, and a wave dash, I believe. An aerial wave dash, and I've been seeing them doing a lot where they start to rotate one way and then they boost the other, and they're taking shots with these, which, you know, if you're in goal and you're trying to block these things, you know, you see those reactions in the ball, you think it's going to the left, it ends up going to the right, and that's how they get past both these defenders. And Emerson takes another drive from Dutchtown up in the corner from Renix, but that's an off the top flip reset coming in that's going to keep the ball in Lakeshore side. And Dutchtown had a nice little drive there, and once again swinging around. Dutchtown on the offense here. Emerson's going to go 50-50 with Sticky Panda. They both faked me out, and Renix puts it in the middle for the key, and that's a great pass to Sticky.
Yeah, absolutely excellent pass. I was just about to say that, you know, I really, really hope that Lakeshore sees this and realizes we have got to step it up here and pick up this aggression. You know, Dutchtown has shown that besides for that first game, they're going to score as well. And it really feels like Lakeshore in the last couple of games really kind of let off the gas here. And that was just an absolutely beautiful passing play to show us that, no, it's okay. Lakeshore still knows how to score and can still do that.
I think you mentioned the important thing there is Lakeshore, the first couple games, was passing really well. Climbing up the side, sending it over, or bouncing it intentionally off the side of the goal for someone else to pick up. Yep. And that is the play we just saw, was up off the wall, send it to my teammate. Whereas in the last game, it looked like they were all solo queuing. They were all trying to be the hero, and we could see how that broke down. And as we see Dutchtown on the offense again, taking control of this game, trying to get that, you know, get a little bit of a goal lead at this, more than just one, with a shot on goal from Emerson, just smacked into the corner.
Absolutely, and once again, just look at this beautiful pass from Sizzy right here. Using his momentum off the wall, getting that extra bit of bump so that he sends that ball right to Emerson, and Emerson, like the grand champ he is, just absolutely slams it into the goal.
That positioning was textbook. I mean, they knew where they were going to be, and they knew where to put that ball, and almost a shot right there to get another one up on the board. as Dutchtown gets a little defensive for the first time. Double commit trying to clear. That's going to open the goal for Lakeshore. As we're going to try and get this one out of here. Emerson versus Renix, and back into the side for Sticky to try and put this pass play up, and that is going to be almost on target, picked up by
That is
Baker, taking control of the key.
Yeah, and as we can see, as we can talk about, like you said, Dutchtown really on the defensive for the first time. That first goal Lakeshore got was a great play out of midfield. This one set up because they just kept the pressure on. Dutchtown had a couple awkward clears. We saw the double commit, and after a little while, somebody comes in with that really nice pass. You keep up that pressure, eventually you're going to get an open goal.
Yeah, and I mean, they're not letting off at all. Oh, nice little demo there, trying to open up the goal a little bit. But they're not letting up at all. Everyone's playing like it's 0-0. You just need that one goal. And Dutchtown's going to take this one on the offense into the corner, let everyone reset a little bit as we see Sizzy's setting up to pass this one to the center. Emerson maybe reeling over here to get that pass as well, and no one's able to make anything happen as Renix flips this one up into the air and off the top bar, but the rebound is there for Sticky again. 2 goals for Sticky in this game.
Using the backboard.
Yeah, it's a player. Use it to help pass. I mean, look at that follow-up, making sure you've got your player behind you to pick up. You know, you're always shooting, but you're always passing, and that was a great reaction play from Sticky to be there to take control of that.
And very similarly to our second game in the series, that Lakeshore came out on top of, we're back tied at 3-3 with a minute left to go. So we'll see if we get our first overtime. I think we're going to miss the prediction of 7 overtimes that we had.
I mean, I don't know.
That was close.
But,
Dude, this game looks so much more like the second game than yeah.
And there we go.
When Dutchtown gets dominant, it looks like it's just a different game.
And it's the spacing. I mean, when they space out, they have their zones under control, and they're able to rotate better. You can see the field better, and that's when we've been seeing those pass plays pick up. When you're all bunched together, you can't pass, and that's when we see the breakdown happen. As a really nice pass all the way over to Sizzy, back to Sizzy from Emerson, almost in the
Nice
goal
defense.
there. Yeah, great defense. With just over 30 seconds left. If Dutchtown can keep this one up, we're going to go to 2-2 in the series. And, you know, we knew we were going to have a good series going into this. Super excited to see that that's playing out.
It's really exciting here to see Lakeshore try and keep up this pressure. You know, we talked about it. They're so close. Dutchtown is so close to evening this up 2-2. But there's 10 seconds left, and they are keeping it on Dutchtown's side. So Lakeshore still has a chance here. We'll see what they can do with the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, and you know,
my concern is right there that Lakeshore has left their back end almost totally empty, and to get the pressure on to do that, it almost seems like they're having to leave the back end exposed a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you just got to weigh those risks and rewards, right? You're already down 1 with so little time left. If you let that open goal go as you're trying to score and even the game up, that's probably a risk you're willing to take to hope and send that to overtime. But unfortunately, just like you said, eventually Dutchtown got that clutch cleared. They sent it back to the other side of the pitch, and they took the game. So now we are at a very exciting 2-2.
Yeah.
Also, too, I'm noticing Lakeshore is kind of ahead on the kickoffs. They seem to be beating those more consistently than Dutchtown is. It's not making much of a difference, but it is interesting to see that they're getting to the ball a little bit quicker.
It could make the difference if they're able to convert that into some actual pressure on the goal. So we'll see. Hopefully they can recognize that as well, and they can use those quick kickoffs and those early touches on the ball to put that pressure on Dutchtown. Because like we said, and like we talked about earlier, if they can do it, if they can build up that pressure, if they can keep it going and keep Dutchtown awkwardly trying to make these questionable clears, eventually that goal's going to be left open. We've seen they're not, Dutchtown isn't getting a perfect clear every single time. Every now and then they get a little bitty one, kind of moved right back over to somebody on Lakeshore side. And if they can keep that pressure off their kickoffs, like you said, and like you noticed, that might be one of the keys for them to get back into this game.
Well, and you know that the Dutchtown players they've got a renewed sense of strength here. That's right there.
Oof. I was just
Wow.
about to say what we haven't seen is actually any. I don't think we've seen any kickoff goals in this series at all. I mean, we haven't seen that classic 3-second goal. So they've been able to get the pressure off those kickoffs, but we haven't seen the immediate turnaround, which is just great for the defensive side of whoever loses that kickoff. But we are going to 7. No, we could go to 6. I need a little work on my math. But we're definitely going into
There's that backboard shot.
that backboard shot. I mean, that's what they've been using the backboard and the sideboard a lot to pick up those passes to themselves in the middle. And both teams have been capitalizing on that. But at Lakeshore, that seems to be one of their kind of classic plays here. Passing from the side and smashing it against the backboard for someone else to pick up to break that defense. As we hit the 1 minute mark, still in our goals here. A little bit more of an even matchup this time than the last games, as Emerson is going to try and get this one over into the Lakeshore side with a slow ball rotating back for Sizzy to try and get in control of that goal. And there we go with a little Lakeshore off the side. No one's there to pick it up. But the drive continues for Lakeshore into the center, into the key, but Emerson is able to block that one, sends it all the way back, and this is a great demo for Emerson to open something up. Oh, not able to commit. Sizzy up in the air. We can get the double touch. We get a little bit of one. Emerson putting a cross over into the front. Erlianheimer on target to the corner, and that is just off to the side. Great attempt. As we got another drive here from Sizzy. So Dutchtown is once again picking that pressure up and making Lakeshore really work to keep this at 0-0.
Yeah, and Lakeshore really needs to get a good clear here, and I think that's going to do it for him. They were not able to really stop Dutchtown's offense there, except for the very crucial part, they didn't give up a goal. Dutchtown really kept it on right there, really kept the pressure on. Lakeshore held on, finally got the clear they needed, and now we're on the other side. Let's see if they keep up the pressure on the opposite side.
Yeah, and we're going to see a clear attempt from Emerson, but we've got some shadowing going on from Renix, and it pays off well as they put it into the corner. And Erlianheimer is there to keep this drive alive off the wall. We've seen that work in the past. Let's see if they can get that pass going. Emerson, pretty powerful shot straight into Renix. Emerson once again back on it, and if they can keep that boost in Dutchtown and keep these shots going, Lakeshore is not going to have anything to defend with. And they're not going for a goal here. They're going to stop a goal, which is a very different mindset, as Sticky challenges with a little double commit there. And Erlianheimer once again pushes up to midfield, and Dutchtown is on the defense here. So a little bit of a difference as we hit 2 minutes left and still no goals. So this is the longest we've gone in this series, I think, without seeing anyone put anything on the board.
Yeah, but
you're right.
I have a feeling we're going to see something come up soon. Both of these teams, they've each had about one this game so far, a questionable clear that could be a really easy pass for the other team. But speaking of passes,
There it is.
Emerson sets up that one super nicely. Sizzy comes screaming in from the center of the pitch, and we have our first goal of Game 5.
Great positioning. I mean, that is solid positioning. That's watching your teammate ride up the corner for the cross and knowing that I need to be right here in the middle because I need to pick this one up.
And as defense, there's no way you can see it.
Nope. Can't see that happening unless you're just playing positional defense. As Sticky's on the drive and Sizzy blocks that pass. Erlianheimer too to pick that one up. And Lakeshore's only got a minute and a half, and they're, I mean, very different from game one. The other thing that's going to be setting into here is just series fatigue. I mean, 5 games straight. Obviously, we're going to a 6th at some point here. And just the mental fatigue that's going to be wearing on these players is why we're going to be starting to see different types of play at the later game as it just wears on you.
Oh yeah, and you see that with the pressure from what this game means too. This is not your regular season clash between these two teams. This is for all the marbles, right? This is the Louisiana High School State Championship. Whoever wins this game gets crowned spring champion. Oh, and Dutchtown with another great goal to go up 2-0.
And the other thing that Dutchtown is doing incredibly well is they are not letting Lakeshore come in from the outside. So that's why they've had to just be, not side to side, but straight up and down north to south. Every time they try to come in from the outside, Dutchtown is just sitting there waiting for them.
Yeah, and that's what the definite difference in the defensive styles of these two teams is as Sticky responds.
That's the first one they've done. Okay, I'm
Oh
wrong.
yeah.
but it's game 5. It's taken 5 games. I mean, obviously Lakeshore's been able to get some goals up there, but the big difference in the defense here is that Lakeshore tends to have somebody kind of sitting in the front of that goal and then having a potential double commit happen, whereas Dutchtown seems to be more in line with having someone cross to clear, which can leave 2 extra players to help with the defense. But you kind of leave that goal open a little bit. But it's definitely a better way to clear than to potentially have those rebounds. As Renix comes in, and it's a nice defensive play from Sizzy to keep that pressure down. As 12 seconds left, I mean, Lakeshore can do it. It's happened before in Rocket League, short second goals. But Dutchtown came out, and they're going to take the lead in this series now. I think. Who knows? Who knows when the timer's actually going to stop? There we go.
Yeah, that's a really great point on their defense, and it's something that I hadn't really noticed until you brought it up. But yeah, you're right. You've typically got Lakeshore sending somebody back immediately once they realize Dutchtown's going to be trying to make a play, and then kind of depending on their 2 players, either midfield or even further up, to play disruption there. And like you've said, that's led to a couple double commits, which just leaves the goal wide open. It hasn't happened too much yet. Really, Dutchtown had 2 excellent passing plays there to set up their 2 goals in that
Yeah.
game. But it's definitely something to keep in mind as we go into our first match point
Yeah, this
for the
is,
game.
you Dutchtown might not have felt like this was going to happen after that first game, where Lakeshore came out just screamingly strong. But now we've got Dutchtown sitting on the precipice of shutting this one down.
hmm Yeah, and you mentioned this earlier, but that mental fatigue is so important. Not only is this the high school state championship, but also we've talked about it plenty of times before. Both of these teams, they are undefeated. Very few of them have been challenged up until this point. Lakeshore in their last game got pushed a little bit by Sandomal, but this is probably a bit of a shock for some of them to come in here and not necessarily be outmatched, but to see people who at any point in time can play better than them, can make the same flashy plays, and aren't just gonna roll over and take it.
Yeah, and as we coming screaming out of the gates, Lakeshore is getting pushed onto the defense to start. Baker's going to try and clear this one up at the side as we see both Lakeshore players going to the 50 to maybe pick up a pass or something, but it kind of stalls out that offensive drive right there. And Dutchtown's able to take advantage of that as we get a ball just dropping straight into the right side at the 21-second mark for this almost possibly final game of the state championship.
Yeah, it's just a shame. Renix has played so well all game, and it's just a little bit off there on that clear, and nobody behind him to pick it up once he misses it.
So here we go. This time Lakeshore is going to take that kickoff, and Emerson with a risky play there, bringing it back into the almost an own goal. As Emerson now reconnects. Erlenheimer with the shot or pass, blocked by Renix. Up in the air is Sizzy to stop that from happening. And we'll see if Dutchtown can keep this going. That one goal is a huge confidence builder into this game. They know now for sure that they can take a lead and own a league as we've got a ball just floating. Can Sizzy get there? They can. Great block from Sizzy. Ball is just a little too slow, but Lakeshore is doing what they do, which is to apply the pressure, throw it up in the air, and Sizzy once again back-to-back saves. 1 minute in, and Dutchtown is up by 1, but Lakeshore isn't stalling anytime soon. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I hate to talk about it again, but it really looks like that mental fatigue might be taking hold because Lakeshore had their best bet to score all game there and just couldn't quite convert. Twice there, they had the ball in front of the goal, just couldn't get it in.
Yep, but as we see off the top of the backboard, and that is so close for Sizzy. Sizzy is playing all over the place in this game. Tons of touches, shots, and blocks from Sizzy, challenging the rest of Dutchtown for that spot that we will award at the end of this, which is Dutchtown Player of the Game.
Yeah, Sizzy's already demonstrated that He can hit some pretty nasty angles.
Yeah, and up in the air, both players from Dutchtown dropping this one down, but able to reset their positioning, and a nice positioning from Emerson as we see two Dutchtown players up in the air. Erlenheimer is able to put this one off to the side. Emerson picks that one up, and Sticky and Renix there to try and block that, and neither one of them is able to stop that drive. Whew. That is a great goal at the 3-minute mark left. It's going to really stick the pressure on Lakeshore. It's okay when you're down by 1 because you can tie it up and you can come back, but now they know they have to get 3. And that can weigh on you mentally for sure. You really have to step it up, but not get too aggressive. And I mean, that's where it gets complicated.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier, but this isn't just any other game in the series. Dutchtown has made it to series point, right? If they win this game, that's it. They're the Louisiana High School State Champions. Lakeshore really needs to start putting on the pressure, and like you said, in an intelligent way. You don't want to give yourself and dig yourself into an even bigger hole just because you're trying to make up for those 2 goals that you let go by earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely not time to pull the goalie, but just to do what they've done, right? Like we know that Lakeshore can do it, and they can do it quick too. So it's can you find the stamina to head back to game 1? They've got 2 minutes to do it. It's plenty of time to score 2 or 3 goals in Rocket League, and they just need to reset real quick and to get back in this series. As Erlenheimer sends this one into the corner, we've got a demo from Baker on Sizzy, and that can be enough of a push. But all Lakeshore on the same side as, up in the air. We've got a great clear. Sticky's there and able to get this one out off the top bar. That was unbelievably close. And Emerson, anyone there? Anyone's there. Erlenheimer is there to pick that one up as it just drops in front.
Look at Emerson, just this really nice redirect, save it a little bit. And Erlenheimer coming in to make sure Sticky Rice Man, no matter how hard he tries, cannot save them.
And Sticky Rice has got to be thinking, I just came off of a demo, got a huge save, and I had to do it twice.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And the car control, too.
Yeah.
Like, Emerson, full speed, turnaround in the air, and puts that one straight where it needs to be picked up for a shot. Do these kids coach? Like, can I get some tips, please?
I definitely need some. And I think they could offer some.
Right.
For sure.
Get me into Platt. So here we go. 1 minute left to go. Dutchtown's entire goal here is to just keep the pressure on, but don't be silly, don't mess it up. But just play keep away. Park the bus if you need to, because Sticky Rice is there to put one almost in the spot just needed for Lakeshore to get one on the board.
Very dangerous ball right there.
Yeah, sitting right smack in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
right in the
saving
key.
grace for Lakeshore right there was that pretty much all of Dutchtown's players were needed on deck to defend that last push by Lakeshore. But that was very close to being a very quick 4-0. And do we...
Almost.
A great attempt from Renix.
We're going to get another shot on goal, and that might be the one that goes in.
There we go.
There we go.
Renix says, not yet. Not while I am in this game. Sir, 15 seconds means nothing to me. Let's go, boys.
It's time for those kickoff goals to find their way here.
With only 15 seconds, we got to find something out of Lakeshore to try and get this going real quick.
Oh, I just saw something I've never seen. Amazing setup. Off to the side boost. Demo from Sticky to Sizzy. In the position, Emerson's going to put that one in the corner.
That's the dagger.
That's going to That's going to bring us.
That's all she wrote.
Formalities aside, great attempt from Renix to get there. Good pressure from Dutchtown. Way to control the top of that key to pick up that pass and that rebound. This kickoff's going to stall in the middle. Blocked by 2 Dutchtown. Off the side wall. Up in the air with a shot. That's going to drop. Series winner.
Renix with the attempt at the consolation goal, but that is folks. Your Dutchtown High School Griffins are the 2021 Spring Louisiana High School State Champions.
Congratulations, Dutchtown. Well played, though, Lakeshore.
Yeah, I mean, Lakeshore, seriously, some serious talent in Louisiana. If we know anything, it's that there's serious talent. And I know Dutchtown's all juniors. Not really sure where Lakeshore is sitting, but obviously bright futures for all of these athletes. As I mean, that was a great series to take.
Yeah, it's such a shame that those last two games ended that way because, I mean, like we saw, Lakeshore took the first two games in the series very quickly and very commandingly. Remember, that first game was a 3-0 win for Lakeshore. And then they finally, with that second game, Dutchtown kind of came back into it, started coming to their own. And Lakeshore said, not yet, not yet. We'll take the second game. And then Dutchtown did Dutchtown things and won 4 in a row to take the series.
And
I
you know,
think if we look in the chat, I just heard that Lakeshore's team is all sophomores.
Oh, geez, yeah.
unbelievable.
Incredibly exciting. Oh, that's great news for Louisiana Rocket League.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a repeat of from the Griffins, taking it 2 years in a row, but that's 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 exciting. If Lakeshore is
Mhm.
coming into this with their first season, didn't play last year, showed up on the block and went straight to the finals and got to game 6 against the defending champs and their sophomores. That means they've got plenty of time to refine what is already a really talented team. Uh, I mean, from that game 1, it was just a commanding team, and they're just going to build that discipline as they continue.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I'll be tuning in next year for sure because I have a very strong feeling that we'll see both of these teams hopefully in the state finals once again in the fall because that was just a treat to watch, and especially after finding out that Lakeshore in their first season fielded a varsity team of all sophomores. Yeah, I think we're gonna see some great things out of them.
Yeah, so uh, thanks everyone out there for watching. We still have plenty of viewers. We're more than happy to take questions. um, but really good stuff coming out of both these teams, and I'm happy that we were invited to be here today. So
Yeah, this was an absolute treat.
Yeah, absolutely. Great time.
so thanks everyone for being here. Have a great summer and congrats once again to your defending state champs, taking it once again, Dutchtown High School Griffins. And we'll see you all next time. And thank you, Donkey.
Thanks, Bucky. We appreciate it.
Yes, plenty of bandwidth. That's what we like to hear.
Oh, we didn't play that game. We should have.
Well, if you're wondering, I think there's some who are we. So we're three coaches from all over the country. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Where else are we
I
from?
am yeah, so this is English teacher from Pass Christian, Mississippi.
And I go by G-Reg because my name's Greg, and that's what one of my kids called me. And I'm from Castle Rock, Colorado, just outside of Denver.
There you
And
go.
for the person asking, um, good old Coach Patty is Dutchtown's esports coach.
Yeah. So
With
if
a
you,
with a good French name, I think, right?
yeah,
I think so.
I can't pronounce it. It's a good one. So if you see Patty, uh, make sure to give the congrats. But thanks, coast to coast, coast to mid, uh, streaming here. It takes a village, and we're just happy to be able to support fellow coach and to make this happen. So thanks everyone for watching, and I guess we'll see you next year.